everyone, would you please welcome Matt Noller?
Thanks, Bradley, and thanks everyone here for joining us at Depot X. Like some of you here, this is actually my first Depot X as well. So it's great to be here and to hopefully share a little bit of information about business value. This is, I know that I'm stringent on my 15 minutes that I've got here to go through, so a few of these things that might seem pretty quick. This talk is also something that I could nearly sit here for 2 hours and talking about, but I won't bore you through that tonight. I'm going to, as I said, talk about creating value in your business. So to start off with, I'm going to go through a bit of these are the main things that I'll run through, or hopefully that I can provide some information for you on, is what is business value. So a little bit of insight into that. How to increase business value. Owner limitations. You don't know what you don't know, which is a great mantra that we've got here at Business Depot. And essentially the theme that to always think that your business is ready for sale, or it should be available for sale. So what I'll talk about this more in detail when we go, but essentially what this is having the mentality that why would my business be able to be sold today, or would it not be able to sell? So I'll go through more detail with that anyway as we run through. First of all, talking about business value. What is business value and how are businesses valued? Now, I'm sure if you got 10 accountants in the room, they'd all do it all sorts of different ways about it, and they'd also come up with all sorts of different values as well. However, at the end of the day, no matter whatever methodology is used for business value, it's still got to come back to what it would be as an investment. Okay, so if I'm a buyer looking at your business, I'll need a particular return on investment, which will dictate what I'll pay for your business. Okay, so essentially the easy formula, which without getting into detail, is risk and return equals business value. Okay, so based on the risks, actual or perceived, of the business, and the return that it brings, which we're talking about profitability, is what's going to dictate the business value. Okay, so when we talk about return or profit, we're talking about the actual operating return of the business. Okay, so we're not talking about the financials that you get from your depot accountants. We're not talking about that figure there. It is the actual operating profit. We're very lucky as small business owners, or even medium business owners, that we have a lot of tax deductions that may not be actual core operating costs of the business. So we need to get those actual costs in there. Plant and equipment. Once again, this just goes into the methodology of going, well, I've got a business, it makes this much money per year, return on investment of a certain percentage, but then I've got all this plant and equipment that I'm going to add onto it as well. That's not how business value is determined. Okay, so plant and equipment is always included into your business value, because as I said, it needs to come back to a return on investment. Okay, so a good example that I use here is a courier business, because I've dealt with them a fair bit up in the Toowoomba area, small and large courier businesses. Got a courier business that, for interest's sake, has 10 trucks. Those trucks are all 10 years old, and the value is very low. You've also got another courier business that has the 10 trucks as well. They're all brand new trucks, so the value of these trucks are worth a lot more. However, the two businesses are identical as far as turnover and income and profitability. Okay, so what I'm trying to get at there is the business value has very much limitation. It all comes down to what the business can make out of it, okay? Not what your plant and equipment is actually worth. If those newer trucks actually do make more money, which they should, maybe on efficiencies, reduce fuels, or reduce repairs and maintenance, things like that, you will get it out of the increased profit of the business. It sounds very wordy and very summy and a lot of figures and that sort of stuff, but what I'm trying to get across really is that your plant and equipment needs to be included in the business value to give the return on investment that someone will pay. Okay? Business versus other assets. So what I'm trying to get at here is just to give you an idea of where a lot of businesses sit in the market. So going back to our risk and return equals business value, if you have no risk at all and don't want to do anything risky, you put your money in a term deposit and you get your rate of return of about 2%, probably at the moment. You've got a little bit more risk, however, sitting with actual bricks and mortar in residential property or commercial property. Residential property return on investment may be around that 5% as an average. Commercial may be getting into that 8 to 10s, depending where you are or how your commercial property is. Moving into share markets that hopefully on a big average will be in the low teens. Businesses are risky. Whether they're small business, medium business, they are more risky. Most businesses will need, or people looking to invest in businesses, will need to see at least a 40% return on investment. Okay? That also is a generalisation depending on your business. Okay? Some small businesses making less than $100,000 might get up to that 100% return on investment. So in easy sums, a business that makes $100,000 will be worth $100,000, no more. Okay, so because of that risk is why the businesses are worth what they are. How to increase business value? Well, this might seem pretty easy and pretty straightforward, that going off our thing of risk and return, you need to either increase your return or your profitability for the business, or decrease your risk. Okay, so obviously making your business becoming more profitable, whether that may be through efficiencies. It's a range of things. Efficiencies, it could be more sales, it could be growth, it could actually be reduction. You know, there's come across many businesses that have halved their sales but actually become doubly, like, more profitable because of it, okay? So it's that bottom line of your business that gives you your business value. Risks then becomes in all sorts of different ways. There's industry risk, for example. A good example of that would be news agencies, for example. Great businesses, however, as an industry, they've needed to diversify a lot. How technology's coming, etc., is they are seen as a much highly risky business. Another risky business industry-wise is those that depend on the actual key person, whether it's the owner, operator, or key people, because of their skill. Okay. For instance, previously in my lives, I've run my own business broking business. My business wasn't worth very much because it was all based on me and what I could do, rather than actual staffing that I had, or even the return that I could make with it. Without me in the business, it was worth very little. So this is where we're going to reducing that risk. If you are an owner operator, trying to delegate more things to staff or to get managers in place that can run the business for you. The last thing any potential buyer would like to hear is, when was your last holiday? If you go, I can't remember, it's not a really good sign. You know, that means that without you there, your business cannot run. Okay? So some of those things that I've set up there, systems, policies, procedures, to make sure that your business can run without you there. If you do get hit by a bus tomorrow, will your business continue? That reduces the risk in your business, which obviously improves the value of your business. Okay? Once again, I've got in there plant and equipment, beware of iron disease. Iron disease is a name that I've given mainly due to my heavy experience with in my compliance accounting days with rural businesses, farmers and the like. Iron disease is, righto, I need the newest trucks, the newest tractors, newest everything. Spend a fortune on plant and equipment, but then it goes back to what I was talking before. Well, will I actually get efficiencies out of that? Is it going to improve my bottom line by owning and buying all of this equipment? Same as the example about the courier business. Will it actually improve my bottom line? Or am I just buying new trucks because I want new trucks? Okay, so it just means you need to really look at why you're buying the equipment. If it's just for looks or for good look, just so because you want it, well, it's not going to help your business value-wise. Okay? Owner limitations. Once again, this is just an expansion on what I said before of, you know, like what I had in my broking, a one-man band. Okay? I had limitations on what I could do, who I could see, or what my business could actually do at the end of the day, really. So yes, this might all sound good, but what can we actually do about it? So plan and document is really what it comes down to. I've always said that I think all business owners need an exit plan. That exit plan could be that I want to do this till the day I die. I never want to sell it, never want to let it go. It's still a plan, okay? You need a plan. I want to be out in 5 years. I want to be out in 10 years. What is your plan? And just having those conversations with you, your family, and your professional advisors as well of where you need to go. You need to then document that plan and try and stick to it. So a good thing about documenting your plan is it holds you accountable. Holds you accountable to actually do things in your business that's going to improve your value. Now, there could be, and I've come across a lot of people, they say, well, I don't really care about business value. I'm going to do this and I'll just close the doors at the end of the day. But what you'll actually find, and what we'll move on to now, if you actually have that mindset of always thinking that your business could be for sale or will be for sale at any given day, you're actually going to run a lot better business. And even if you do never sell it, it's going to be better for your back pocket. Okay? Once again, most of those things that we've put in there. So financially, keeping records. A big thing about business sales in general is the records. You know, is it the corner store that takes $50,000 cash every year? Well, that's fantastic. You don't have to pay tax on it during the year if you don't get in trouble. However, when you come to selling that business, you can't then add that cash back in, okay? You've had the benefit of not paying tax on that money. You do not then get the benefit of having it in your business value. So keeping the right records, but also reducing those surprises. So at the end of the day, if someone's looking at buying your business, you want your records all in good shape to reduce those surprises, which in turn reduces your risk, improves your value. Okay? You don't know what you don't know. This is more so, what I like to do here is to look outside the box. And what this is about, just because you're running a very successful business at the moment doesn't mean that that's the best way that you can do it. Gaining advice from professionals, whether it be your accountant, your solicitor, your business coach, or just a mentor that you've known. Networking with other like-minded people, like these events that we are at here tonight. Just learning extra things. Aiming to be a leader, not a follower. So just because your competitors are doing it doesn't mean that you need to do it. You need to think wider than that and aim to be a leader rather than a follower. Well, they're doing that now. What else can I do to actually be better than them? Okay? Research. Doesn't work for all business, but researching different things. Is it efficiencies? Is it more products? Is it just a better way of how I'm running my business at the moment to either reduce that risk or improve my bottom line? Networking, once again, we've touched on that before. Networking, it doesn't even have to be like-minded. The amount of business decisions that have been made or problems that have been solved from just networking with other business owners is amazing. I've done it a lot in my business myself, or even just for my greater personal development and growth. It's amazing what you learn just from those casual outings. Your business is always for sale. So once again, we've touched on this before. It's more so the mindset of thinking my business can always be for sale. Have a look at your business. I'd encourage everyone to go home. Have a look at your business. Now, why would a buyer buy my business, or why would they not? That's a great way to start. If you go back home, look at your own business and go, well, I don't think my business is sale because of X, Y, Z. I haven't got things in place. All the policies and procedures are in my head. My staff members don't know how to do everything, which is not necessarily a bad thing depending on what your business is. Start on those things first, okay? Start on those things, but always having the common two themes in mind that will this decision either reduce my risk or improve my bottom line to help my business value, okay? As I said, it'll always work in your favour, even if you never look at wanting to sell your business. Now, I'm mindful that my timer is going down. I've probably rushed through a lot of this, sorry, and I really don't want Tyson to wave around and expose his tattoo, wherever he is. But so, as I said, this is something that we've spoken about. I hope you've gained some sort of value out of it. As I said, this is similar, very similar talk that I can do over about 2 hours of going through this. So, even though quick and rushed, I really do appreciate everyone for coming here. And as I said, hopefully you've gained something from it. Thanks very much.